They say it's the water that makes Olympia beer. If that's the case, then Well 80 Artesian Brewing Company is in the right place, sitting on top of one of Olympia's 96 artesian wells. Chris Knudson, who plans to open Olympia's newest restaurant and brewhouse soon, learned about the perpetually flowing water well by happenstance. Knudson says finding the well that constantly burbles in the back of the building was somewhat serendipitous for himself and his business partner and father, Bob.
We'd kind of been tossing around the brew pub concept for a while, and then we came and looked at this building. And at the end of the tour with the gentleman that sold it to us, he took us through the back, and we hear this running water. And he says, "Oh yeah, that's the artesian well. It's, it's just there. It's just kind of in the way." And my dad and I looked at each other, and we're kind of like, "Wow, we're gonna do a brew pub. I mean, that's pretty cool in Olympia to have an artesian well inside the building."
Well 80 is a true family business that will employ about 35. Chris, Bob, and Chris's brother Evan Knudson are the brewhouse's partners. The family already owns the Casa Mia Italian Restaurants in Olympia and Lacey. Head brewer Paul Pearson comes to Well 80 from Fish Brewing Company in Olympia, where he worked as head brewer for the past 5 years. Pearson has years of other experience in Oregon, including with Rogue Ale. He has big plans for some new brews.
We have a 10-barrel brew system, which a barrel is 31 gallons. So our brew system can do about 330 gallons at once, basically. We'll brew a batch of beer. We'll put it into one of these 3 fermenters right here, which we can put 2 batches of beer into these. It'll ferment for about anywhere from 2 weeks to over a month, depending on the beer style. After that, we'll go into another separate tank called a bright tank. That's where the beer becomes bright, basically, clears up, all the solids kind of drop out. And then from there, we either keg it or we'll just serve it right off of those tanks.
Knudson says the brew house and restaurant will seat 200 inside.
Which is a big jump for us. Our restaurants are in the 85 to 95 range, so it's a big jump, but I think we're prepared for it.
The brewhouse will feature warm weather seating in the alley and on the front sidewalk with a service window from the tap bar. Knudson talks about other features.
We've got a really cool sort of a fireplace seating area as you walk in. That's going to be kind of exciting. We've got this coffee table that we built out of a cherry tree that was in my dad's yard. It's going to have a lot of cool features like that. A lot of cool wood, exposed metal, and things like that that just look neat, feel cool, have a great warm feel to them.
The spacious interior features high ceilings with wooden beams and an area with metal walls that can slide to shut off a room for private gatherings near the brew vats.
We're standing right now in this room that's sort of a multi-use space, event room. It can be overflow from the bar. If it gets full in there, people can come in here and mill about. We can close it off, we can have it for events. Paul can teach classes in here. He's also doing some work with South Puget Sound with their brewing program there. So it's kind of a cool little space for us to be able to do different things with.
An historic Olympia beer mural is already mounted on one wall with an enlarged photo of a 1936 beer truck parked in front of Tacoma's Union Station. At Well 80 in downtown Olympia, I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.